Hi, this is Christina with SedonaMedium.com, and this is part of the Empathic Management series. If you haven't checked out the very first video, What Makes an Empath an Empath, go ahead and check that out. This will help make this video make a little bit more sense to you. But for those of you who have seen the first video, stay with me for a preventative technique and also a little bit more information about the auric field and how it works with an empath. So in a typical situation, we were talking about in the first video that we have lots of extra receptors in the field, and for the most part this works kind of like a radar sweep, where subconsciously the empath is sort of sweeping the environment and sweeping the energies of other people, and then bringing that information. It automatically is connecting with those exposed receptor fields, and part of that happens as well with this radar type of energy. It prevents or reduces the empath themselves taking up their full energy space. So the auric field is naturally very protective, but in order for it to be protective, each individual has to have a high healthy ki or chi level, and also be taking up their personal space, their space bubble. And typically that's not happening because we have this type of energy instead, which is focused on the receptor aspect, or the receptive type of energy, instead of yang or expressive type of energy. So in this case, with all these extra receptors in the field, what we want to do is help create a protective auric bubble that will help as you fill in and do some of the other techniques that work on helping you take up your space and shift from this sweeping energy to a more active holding your energy, feeling safe in your particular bubble, and kind of shifting how your energy interacts with environmental energy and other people, and yet still allowing you to receive important information. So there's two ways that we can deal with energy from an empathic perspective. One is going to be preventative, which is helping prevent receiving that information fully in our energetic receptors, or from a clairsentient perspective. And then the other aspect is going to be helping to purge and cleanse any energy that does happen to get in, or say you forgot to do your bubble and you went out into the world, and then you're in the middle of Starbucks, you go, oh my gosh, I forgot to put up my bubble, and then there's a little bit of a cleansing process. So there's two particular ways. This video is going to be more focused on one preventative measure that's really effective, but you've got to make sure you do it every day. My encouragement for this one is to do it first thing in the morning, before you've really had a chance to interact with family, interact with chaotic energies that might be present in your morning, or before you sort of head out into the world in particular. So this is creating an egg. So our auric field extends several feet. It extends in a three-dimensional aspect above the head several feet, in all sides several feet, and then below our feet. And this is one of the things that's really important to remember, because we absorb naturally from the earth and from our environments a lot of energy through the feet. And so it's really important to make sure that you utilize this and go several feet underneath as you are creating this energy bubble, so that it's kind of going through the earth in that particular aspect or area. So what you're going to do is a particular visualization process. I love to do this in the shower, and so water is, from a shamanic perspective, is naturally cleansing. So I do a little bit of a cleansing exercise for myself, releasing things, working on releasing stress, and then go ahead and do the bubble. So this is where you create a visualization for yourself that you are in the center of a very loving egg shape that extends in those dimensions that we just spoke about. And really at the edge of that, I like to use the color violet or the color gold. Gold is very strong, protective type of energy. It's also associated in some ways with Archangel Michael, as well as the color blue. So if you have a connection more with that energy, you might want to use a very rich blue, or you might feel more drawn to the gold. Traditionally, protective colors would be a deep violet or a very deep purple. So whatever you feel in resonance with, all of those are fine. And you're going to visualize that on the outside of this egg, this very loving, protective, beautiful space, that color. And as we think about it, as you create it, you're really focusing on what your intention for the day is. Reminding yourself that you're in this loving space that's nurturing, that's compassionate, that's caring, that the interactions that you have with others will be in the same capacity, that you don't need to absorb other people's energy in order to connect or to relate or to gain information about the energy temperature in a space. So it's just a little bit of reaffirming why it is that we're creating this space, and also with the intention that we're only allowing, much like an egg, there is some breathability. We're allowing good, positive, loving energy into our space, supportive energy for our ki and for our chi, but it's not available for things that would make us feel heavy, lower vibrational frequencies, or other people's things, other people's emotional stuff, because that's not ours to take on. It's not healthy for us, and it's not healthy for them. If you have Reiki, if you've taken a Reiki class, you can also affix a power symbol, or if you've taken the master class, the master symbol in the front of your egg, or if you need a lot of extra, you can focus it in all the different directions. If you're feeling like, oh, I didn't quite get the back part, go ahead and you can add that extra symbol and sort of affix it to the outside of your egg so that it adds an extra protection and also beautiful energy of Reiki in your space. So this is a preventative technique. It only works if you do it, and you have to do it on a daily basis. The more that you do it, the more natural it becomes, the easier it becomes. And in the very beginning, once you've done it a few times, it might feel kind of like that blank canvas. You know, maybe your energy has felt like a Jackson Pollock painting, very alive and active, and suddenly we're shifting into more of a blank canvas, because typically when you first start you still have to go forward and do the inner work of, now that the focus is off of being receptive, is what are you going to take that space up? Who is this person, this soul, this energy that needs to express themselves? And so in that in-between period, there's a little bit of a place where it's like, this is weird, you know, it's a quiet energy, it's a peaceful energy. So at first you might feel a little uncomfortable or a little strange about it, because you've gone through years and years of Jackson Pollock painting type of energy, and now it's a little bit of a shift. So keep that in mind as you do it. Once you go through, I'd say maybe the first week or the first 10 days or so, then it feels really natural and wonderful. You can kind of stretch out in that egg and feel like, this is really nice, and it becomes much more of something you understand on a deeper level. So stay tuned. We have more specific techniques on how to prevent and also how to clear energy, and look forward to sharing this with you.